The 2024-2025 season for Arsenal has been marred by the fact we haven't had a clinical goal scorer in critical moments of the season. To be the best defence in the Premier League for consecutive seasons, all arrows point to the front line as the area for improvement. Many names have been linked over the last 2 or 3 months, but with Andrea Berta, the new Arsenal sporting director, taking charge to help Arteta bring home the majors, Alexander Isak has emerged as one of the primary targets for Arsenal this summer, if we were to believe what you see in the media. But is Alexander Isak worth 150 million as reported by many outlets out there? In this video, I'll be discussing Alexander Isak and why I think this decision for Arsenal is probably the biggest in the club's history. If you like anything Arsenal related, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. This is Gunner Street and I have everything Arsenal related on this channel. So if you like anything Arsenal related, player analysis, player breakdowns, anything Arsenal related, content from match reviews, all here on this channel. So don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I'll catch you guys next.
And so what do you think about that first half though, even though it was a tricky start?
Yeah, I mean, it was...
As it looks now, unless we see the biggest collapse in Premier League history, Liverpool will be walking away with the Premier League title for this season. That would mean that would be 22 years since Arsenal last lifted a Premier League title, even if we were to go on and win it next season. Since moving to the Emirates, Arsenal have been reluctant to really splash the cash on top level talent. And yes, in this period we have players like Ozil, Sanchez, Aubameyang and many others. But overall, the big things we want to challenge for in the Emirates era has not really landed just yet. However, in the Arteta era, I think we've started to splash the cash, breaking the bank for our first £100 million player in Declan Rice, who in only 1 3/4 of a season has shown to be a very top level signing. But even though we're in a smart place financially, is it smart to break the record again just so soon after you've just done it for Declan Rice? Well, let's look at Alexander Isak this season. 28 goals and assists in only 33 games, averaging a goal contribution every 93 minutes this season for the 25-year-old Swedish striker. He has proven to not only be a great goal scorer, but an outstanding footballer. Moments of magic have littered his Newcastle career. His 50 goals in 77 Premier League games make him the 7th fastest player in Premier League history to reach that target of 50 goals, passing players like Sergio Aguero, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and even Thierry Henry, a player Isak has grown a lot of comparisons to. I'm sure if you ask any football fan, bar a select few teams like Barcelona or Real Madrid, they'll tell you right now, they'll take Alexander Isak in an absolute heartbeat. And if you ask me, I'd probably do the same. But let's be realistic and let's cut through it all. 150 million for a player is not a smart decision for Arsenal. It just isn't. Firstly, there aren't any high-profile signings that have worked for that money. Look at the list of all of the top 25 signings in the world. I'm talking about all of your top 25 signings. You have many names in there, like Anthony, who didn't work out. You have players like Cristiano Ronaldo, who we went to Juventus, and you saw the absolute downfall that followed. Look at the financial mess they're in that landed people like Paratici with a ban from football. Look at so many players over the years who have suffered from massive price tags and teams that have suffered from massive price tags. Just look at Barcelona. Look at how they're in there so many times with signings like Felipe Coutinho. Ultimately, look where that landed them. Look at Ousmane Dembele. Look at where that landed them, especially now having to pay Dembele almost 50 million after he left the club. And then look at players like Griezmann, who ended up going back for even cheaper than we bought him for. It doesn't really make sense to splash that cash for Arsenal, especially on just one player. When you ask many people along the side of the road, if you were to ask people about, yes, Arsenal's main problem would be a striker, absolutely. But they'll tell you about a midfield creation options that need to be fixed. They'll tell you about left wing options that need to be fixed. They'll tell you about backup cover for certain players in this team. What happens when what happens when Partey and Jorginho leave? What happens there? Is it smart to spend 150 million, seeing that this board has consistently made excuses not to make that kind of deal done? For example, what happens if we sign Isak for 150 million And then ultimately they tell you, oh, well, we spent 150 million on Isak. Oh, we can't buy a 10. Oh, we spent 150 million on Isak. We can't buy a left winger. We can't buy a proper backup for Saka or somebody in the 10. We can't. And that's just the sad, harsh reality of why I'm so skeptical about spending 150 million on Alexander Isak. Just like we needed this season, the board let us down massive. And I don't know about you, but I'm not in for any more excuses from this board. Yes, I get it and I understand football logic and you don't want to put yourself in crucial predicaments. But when this squad needs to be addressed, this board has shown incompetence to address certain matters. Like they've taken so long to sign a striker. I know they're going out and going to spend probably recklessly on a £150 million player. When there are players that are out there for a little bit less, I can still give you that same production. So what would I do? Well, for 65 million, there's a similar profile in Benjamin Sesko. 17 goals and 6 assists in 36 games, averaging 115 minutes between each goal contribution, only 10 minutes shy of Kylian Mbappe's average this season at Real Madrid. Able to carry the ball with good dribbling, runs in the channels and great speed, and standing at 6'5", he's similar to what we already have in the team in a Kai Havertz in terms of that profile of player. But stylistically, he's very much different, and the raw attributes he brings to the game is different. And when we have players like a Trossard in the team, or whoever you sign in the left, or maybe put Martinelli as a option through the middle off the bench, and that gives you a different option to have up top to start games. Because ultimately, yes, Kai Havertz is a good player, but do you want Kai Havertz to continue to be a starting 9? And even if you like Kai Havertz as a profile, you still have the ability to play that and use that profile with a Benjamin Sesko. So I don't see why you do that. At only 21 years old, set to turn 22, well, less than half the price of a Isak. I don't see why you wouldn't do that deal in Benjamin Sesko. But people, let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Do you think Alexander Isak is the guy? I think he is, but just not at 150 million. I'm sorry. The highest I'd probably go, really and truly, the highest I'd probably go is 120, 125 million. And that's really me being very skeptical about that. But when you break the bank for Declan Rice, you have to justify. The hardest thing to do in football is score goals. So you have to pay a premium to score goals, and he's probably one of the best goal scorers in not only the Premier League but in world football right now. So it's an understandable price tag, but do I think it's smart for Arsenal to go and pay that money? I'm not so sure. But ultimately, I love the player and I think it's a good deal. But let me know what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Join Gunner Street, join the family, and leave all your thoughts and opinions about Isak down below. Is he the guy? Is he not the guy? And who should Arsenal sign if not? Like I said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.